Hello, I'm Campbell and welcome to WinedUp Reviews. Today we are in Marks & Spencer, one of their large and expanding own brand range. Most of what M&S have on their shelves these days is their own brand, very subtle on the labels. It tends to look more like the producer's own label than something that M&S have done, keeping it quite subtle. Don't think they need to, but there you are. This does have M&S in the front as well as at the back. This is Saint Veran, so we're in Burgundy. Don't get that confused with the Saint Veran in the Alps. If you go to this Saint Veran and try and ski, they'll probably look at you like you've gone mad. But on the plus side, if you have to drown your sorrows because you've come to the wrong place, then you can get some nice wine. So this is in the Mâconnais region in Burgundy. White wine in Burgundy, like any wine in Burgundy these days, isn't a cheap proposition. In the sort of the middle appellations in Burgundy, in the Côte de Nuit, and Côte de Beaune, the famous names, the Meursaults of the world, very, very difficult to get anything of any good village quality. We'll do a feature on Burgundy one day. Very difficult to get anything for less than £20. So if you want to get some value out of Burgundy, you've really got to go north or south. North being Chablis. We've tasted some Chablis already on WinedUp. We'll have some more to come. And to the south, you've got the Mâconnais. Both of these regions, sub-regions, are almost exclusively 80+%. In the Mâconnais, white wine producing, Chablis pretty much 100% white wine producing, and that means Chardonnay. So you get a lot more value down here than you do in the middle. So if you like white Burgundy and you'd like to continue to drink white Burgundy without putting too much of a damage in your overdraft, then the Mâconnais is a really good place for you to look. So because we're in Burgundy, we've got our white Burgundy glass in front of us here. So we'll give it a little sniff. Quite punchy on the nose, very fruit driven coming through. I can smell just the slightest bit of oak coming in. And if we give it a little taste. I would say that my nose didn't lie. Much fruitier compared to Chablis, so it doesn't have any of Chablis' minerality. There is a little lick of oak in there. If I was going to be a wine bore and guess, I would say this is fermented in stainless steel, but maybe 25–30% of the blend has seen a little bit of oak. But I would say for less than a year. So it's there. It adds a little bit of butteriness, a little bit of creaminess there, but it's by no means overwhelming. So even if you don't like oaky wines, and I really don't like oaky wines, then you won't find this offensive. It's very, very common of its type. I was in the Mâconnais last year, and as soon as I drank this, it immediately took me back to tastings that we had out there. So very common of the Macon style. If you like Mâconnais wine, you might not know you like Mâconnais wine, but if it's Macon Village or Puy-Fusy, if those even are getting a little bit pricey for you, then Saint Veran offers something very similar at a slightly lower price point. So in M&S, this is $11.50. So it's not a cheap wine by anybody's standards. It never is going to be from Burgundy. It's really a question of, does that, represent good value? And I'm going to say it does. I would like to have some food with this wine. It's got a really nice mix of fruit forward, good acidity in the backbone, and a little bit of that oak hint. So something with a sauce, chicken, maybe even salmon, but something with a sauce, a little bit creamy, so that it can complement the sort of oak coming through, but also something that the acidity can cut through. At £11.50 on a Wes rating, it's not quite a 7, I don't think. I'm going to give it a 6. I'd say if you like this style of wine and you're finding it hard to find this style of wine, then that's probably about as good as you're going to get. I'd rather have paid a tenner for it, if I'm being honest. At that level, it would probably have definitely nudged up a rung or two. I think at this kind of price range, you're a little bit betwixt and between. I might be more tempted to spend a quid or two more on a Macon Village, a few quid more on a Pouilly Fusil, or find something similar to this at a slightly lower price point. But if you're in M&S and this is the kind of thing that you like, then it's a good bottle of wine. If you're interested in exploring this region, it's as good a example of Mâconnais Burgundy, Mâconnais Chardonnay as you're likely to find. It's not going to break the bank. So if you fancy any of these things that I've mentioned, then Marks & Spencer's £11.50, give it a try.